welcome to my 517 Follow Friday series. Today, I have the pleasure of chatting with Amy Smith, the owner of Dazzle Cleaning Service. Dazzle Cleaning Service is a family-owned cleaning business that's been serving the Lansing area since 1990. Amy, thank you for taking time to chat with me today.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
I always like to start with some background. So let's just talk a little bit about kind of how you got into the business and why you decided to take this path.
Yeah. Well, it goes back nearly 35 years now when I was working in the restaurant industry at the time. And it was becoming increasingly difficult to work around kids who I ended up inheriting, we shall say. When I married my husband, he brought two kids with him. So just trying to navigate that whole after school thing and holidays and all that. You well know it's a little
Yep.
tricky when you have kids, and restaurant work is not conducive to
Not at all.
really, so I had to figure out what I was going to do there. And I had a friend actually at the time recommend, why don't you just pick up some houses to clean on the side, and you can have some time to figure it out while you're still, and just kind of work around it that way. So I grabbed a hold of that idea. I truly thought it would be very temporary. I thought it would be, just kind of just to get me by. And obviously here all these years later, it's evolved over the years. My business has taken many forks in the road, shall we say. But what's gotten me here was, just those very early days, just kind of doing it on the side and then building it to what it is today.
Wow. So when you first started out, was it like you hit up friends and family members, or did you just put yourself out in the community?
I put myself out in the community. I passed out more flyers and put in mailboxes and doors, and finding out years and years later that I was breaking all kinds of laws by doing that sort of thing. But I mean, by the thousands, we would, in the evenings after I was done working, we would just take the car and we would literally just drive neighborhood and do
Wow.
these flyers. And back then there was, ads in newspapers. So I did
Hmm.
that a lot. Would make like homemade little crafty signs to stick at restaurants and any place that had bulletin boards. So no, it was a lot of grassroots marketing to get me started, and then it was really word of mouth for many years. I did no paid advertising until, gosh, I think I started paid advertising in 2020.
Wow.
Um, so that was when I really decided to try and make a go of a business, and made myself,
Years later.
yeah, truly, because I was utilizing subcontractors in the beginning, and friends and things, right, family. So it wasn't until that first year of COVID that I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make a go of this and see what we can do.
So did you not have staff until then? You just said like you utilized friends and family. So it was like you and other random people, and you didn't actually have staff till 2020.
I utilized subcontractors. I didn't have
Okay.
employees.
Okay. Wow. That's
Yeah, and it's a
amazing. That's like a success story.
whole different ball game too when you're dealing with subcontractors.
Yeah.
Again, there's so many laws you have to abide by, as that many of which I didn't know I was breaking. I was just a stepmom, trying to make some money for her family, doing her deal, and trying to do it legally. Paid all. I've always, one thing I will say about myself, always could not sleep at night if I didn't pay taxes on every single dime I made. And it was so funny because you get to really know and love your clients. And so often people would say, why don't I start paying you cash? That way it's under the table. I paid taxes on my cash payments. So I was always legal in that aspect. But yeah, subcontractors, you just really had to navigate a very fine line. And I wasn't willing to do that anymore when I realized how, you know, on the line I was.
Yeah.
So started with employees in 2020, and it was a great change. It's been a great thing.
Well, congratulations on like just the
Thank you.
evolution of that. I didn't know that, and we've known each other for a while, and
Thank
um
you.
it's just fun to hear those stories about, like you said, the grassroots, like you just were knocking on doors and doing all that stuff, and just to see what you've grown. It's
Yeah.
just
Thank
it's
you.
exciting.
Thank you.
Um
It has been fun.
The cleaning service world kind of makes me think of building like more personal relationships. Like if I have somebody come into my home, I probably would pre-clean. I'm sure other people think, well, I got to pick up a little bit
Clean for
before
the
they come in.
cleaners. Yep.
Yep. And then, just kind of questioning, like, they're going to see that clutter, or my kid's room is a mess, or whatever that is. It just feels like I would be maybe embarrassed or ashamed of the state of my home when people come into it. So I'm sure other people feel that way. How do you address that with people when you start building those relationships?
It's unfortunate that you're right. A lot of people do feel that way, um, with a lot of empathy and a lot of, that's where we all are. My first and foremost that I always say to people is this is our job. If you were a perfect housekeeper and had all the time in the world to do all the things, I wouldn't have a job, my team wouldn't have jobs. So just putting people at ease that you weren't created to do it all. Nobody was, no mom, no dad, no anybody was created to do everything. And I've always been a firm believer that you should always hire out tasks that
Mhm.
somebody else can do better, and then you can live in your sweet spot and do what you do best. So we've all got clutter, we've all got dirt, there's nobody that can escape it. So I just really try to put people at ease that you are no different than Mrs. Smith or Mrs. Jones, and let us serve you that is most beneficial so you can get that time back.
Okay, I feel better now. All right.
Good.
Let's talk a little bit about your services. And I mean, obviously you're a cleaning company, but can you break down, I did see on the website you've got multiple like packages, but can you break down the actual services that you offer?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're primarily residential. One fun tip that can help people kind of realize kind of where we've come from. Back in 2020, when I decided to kind of put my foot on the gas, we had 16 clients, 16 regular recurring clients. Today we have upwards of 250 regular recurring clients. So that's a bunch,
Mhm.
and it takes a team of incredible cleaners out there to do that work. But our sweet spot is residential. That's just kind of where I started, and it's kind of where we are. So we offer, excuse me, weekly, bi-weekly, or every 4 week recurring service. That's where the majority of people find the most relief and the most time back in their lives. So that's number one. And then we also offer certainly move in and move out cleaning. And we also offer office cleaning. So while that's technically commercial, we don't do anything like restaurants or warehouses or anything like
Mhm.
that. We stick with small offices. Um, and then, did I miss anything? Kind of where we start with everybody is either a general cleaning or a top to bottom cleaning. That's think deep clean, spring cleaning, that sort of thing. And then we move into what we call a maintenance cleaning, whereby we've already removed all the buildup, all the old dirt, and now all we have to focus on is the new dirt, as I like to call it. So a little bit more affordable cleaning, obviously, as you go.
Right.
It's an investment, and we recognize that. But it's an investment in not only your home, but your family and your free time. So
Yeah. I'm
mhm.
curious about the move in, move out cleaning because we are hopefully going to be moving in a few months. And so do you go into the new home before we move in and clean because maybe the sellers didn't clean as well as I would like them to do? So
Yeah,
is it that and then you clean my house after we move out? Is
that
that
is
how it works?
often exactly how we do it. That's often
Okay.
how we do it. A lot of people will hire us for move outs, and so the lucky recipient of the new purchaser, enters their home without having to make that investment, and that's always nice. And I always recommend it. Be kind to the new buyers. Um, but yeah, very often people will hire us. Hey, I bought this house. I need that clean so I can move my stuff into it. So we
Right.
navigate the schedule. So yeah, we can do that first, and then we
Okay.
come in when they're all moved out and get that ready for the new owners too.
I love that. I'm
Yeah.
excited because then
Yeah.
I don't have to do it.
No.
Because I've looked at so many houses over the years and I'm like, and it's already empty, it's not, nobody's currently living in it. And I'm just
Mhm.
like, I would want this, I would have to come in and like clean this place top to bottom before I'd want to move my stuff in. So,
Oh, girl, when we bought my house 30 years ago, like 30 years ago now, I came in thinking I had beige fixtures in my bathrooms. I thought they were beige. And when I knew the house was dirty, I mean, it was evident, but I really thought I had beige fixtures in my bathrooms. And when I squirted the cleaner on the first squirt, and nicotine just
oh,
dripped off of everything. So I've seen it all, even in my own home. So I
okay.
get it. Yeah, I get it. But move ins, move outs, we're going
Yeah.
inside closets. We're getting
Mm-hmm.
it ready for your items. We're going inside
Right.
cabinets and drawers. It's a super deep clean.
Right.
And then, you certainly have clients who are like, you know what? I just don't want to be embarrassed. Do just a once over, get rid of my hair, get rid of my, uh, my dirt, and so we can kind of customize based on the
Okay.
needs of the family. Had a house last month. Family had lived there for 40 years. Unfortunately, the folks had passed away, so the kids were left to get the home prepped and ready for sale. And navigating that is always hard, because we're
Yeah.
dealing, we're people, we get it. We know it's sometimes these people are losing their childhood homes that
Yeah.
they're, saying goodbye to. So kind of, you said earlier something about getting close to your customers, and kind
Mhm.
of, it's definitely true. We definitely have, because we all have similar things happen in our lives, so you can
Yeah.
kind of relate what's going on.
Hmm. So your little comment about the beige fixtures reminded me of a house that we looked at, I don't know, earlier this year, or maybe it was last year. Um, Clearly the previous owners were smokers. Like you could smell it everywhere. In a situation like that, what do you do? Can you clean carpets too? Or is it just about like walls and fixtures and stuff? How deep can you go when it's something like nicotine or even pet smells?
Yep. Yep. Great question. So I fully believe in staying in your lane. And by that, I simply mean I'm not going to take on a job that I don't fully believe we're capable of doing, trained to do, have the right equipment to do. So, and I also don't believe any one company can do everything well.
Yeah.
So we pick what we do well, and that is cleaning. So we leave the carpet, the furniture shampooing, that sort of thing to the professionals. We have a great list of competent, legally run businesses that we refer out for stuff like that. But no, we don't
Okay.
do that kind of thing. But I do know that people like to have kind of an all inclusive, so they don't have to deal with so many companies. So I will help navigate that as best I can with you. But I never want to pretend that, yep, I'm a one stop for all your needs, because
Yeah.
I don't believe anybody can do it all and do it all well. So I have a pocket of referrals that I can give, and I will stick with what I know best.
We are on the same page there because I very much stay in my lane. I don't, there's areas of the law that I don't practice in, and I know enough to be dangerous. And I also know that that means I need to keep my mouth shut. So,
Yeah. You
um,
told me that one time. I reached out to you for something, and I can appreciate that, because it's true. We can't do it all. We cannot simply know it all, have everything that we need to do it. So I really respect that in a company that knows that that's just not a wise
right.
business decision. Yeah.
Okay. Of all the services that you mentioned, is there one that's the most popular? Would you say it's that recurring, like maintenance type of a thing?
Absolutely. People, once in a while, people will, it's kind of a fun thing. I wish I could keep stats on it. I should start, but people will call and they'll be like, I let things go. I got busy. So I just need a fresh start. You get us going, and we'll keep it up. I hear that all the time, all the time. And while
That would
I know
that
people
would
have
come
good,
from me.
I know people have good intentions, but it's funny because a month or two later, they start to see the dust and the grime start building
Yeah.
up, and they'll call and they'll say, you know what, you were right. Can we get on that biweekly schedule? So we're open to whatever, but I would say definitely our recurring service biweekly is the most popular. Most people have kids and pets, and
Yeah.
if you go every 4 weeks with kids and pets, you're going to be frustrated. And so we definitely have recommendations. Have, seniors call me and they want biweekly. I actually recommend that seniors with no pets, they can get by with every 4 weeks, and they're always stunned. Wait, you're tough. I just want to do what is best for you.
Yeah.
And most seniors can get away with every 4 weeks. So we offer recommendations. We'll do whatever. Um, we do have something called a priority clean that this is very popular with folks who have never had any kind of experience with a house cleaning service, or maybe they're changing a company and they have a little bit of trepidation over that. So it's kind of like a try us. We allow you to pick the hours, and you're just basically buying time from us. And then you give us literally a list, just like you would your honeydew list, on
Yeah.
Saturday. Give us your list. We'll work down that list until the time is up. And then you can kind of see what we're about. And then you can make your decision if we're for you.
I like that. Although I feel like I it wouldn't make sense. My list would be so long. It
Well,
would
that's why we stop it when the time's up, and we
cut it
draw a
off.
line so you know where we got.
Oh man. So you mentioned the pet thing. We have two corgis. There's corgi glitter all over this house. I'm constantly vacuuming. So for
Sure.
someone like me, I feel like you probably would say we would need weekly maintenance just because of the corgi glitter.
So I always just recommend, it's up to you. How much are you going to do in between? So if you're somebody that is, I'm not going to do anything in between, you're right. I would recommend weekly. If you're somebody that's like, oh my gosh, I vacuum every day, you could probably get away with biweekly, because it's really only the hair you're contending with. So
Yeah.
we'll navigate, we'll recommend, we'll offer. We might have folks, this happens a lot, might have folks that came in under a 4-week maintenance, and we get in there the first maintenance, and we're like, mm, I just don't see how this is going to work. We had to up their time, or
Yeah.
whatever. So we'll recommend, maybe it's a budgeting issue, and they're just like, nope, I just can't afford anymore. We're gonna have to
Yeah.
make it work. And we do what we have to do. As long as people are realistic with their expectations, we'll
Yeah.
work with you. We'll work with budgets.
I like that. That's helpful, especially for if you've got like single parents,
Hmm.
elderly people, like people in the senior community who maybe are only on Social Security or something,
Yeah.
but they don't have time or mobility issues, and they
Yeah,
just
we have
need
a
just need a
lot of
little
that.
bit. So
We have a lot of that. I mean, well, most companies have a minimum. We're no different. We do have a minimum, so we can't run out for just $20.
right.
Our minimum is very fair, and we can get a good amount of cleaning done for our minimum, and people seem to really love it. COVID also, the other thing I love about um, uh, there's not many good things I can say about COVID, but the one good thing I can say about COVID was that it really opened up people's eyes to the importance of cleaning, and to
Yeah.
the importance of even your mental health when it comes to cleaning. It's vital. So we clean for more apartments than I have ever cleaned for in my life in the last 4 years, and it's because it's no longer, it used to be considered a luxury, like only the wealthy could have house cleaners. That's just not the case anymore. People know that I want my time back, and so I'm going to buy it if I have to. So I'm going to get that lawn mowed. I'm going to get the house cleaned. I'm going to have the house power washed, so I don't have to do it on Saturday. All those types of things. Well,
Yep.
also for cleanliness reasons. So
Yep.
we clean for a lot of young single people living in apartments. We're in and out quick. It's a pretty minimal investment on their part when it's an apartment, but
Yeah.
we do a ton of them.
It's so crazy. There's all these overlaps between your cleaning business and my law firm, because like you're talking about how it used to be considered this luxury, and people think that about estate planning too. And it's like, no, you don't have to be wealthy. I love that we're so similar.
I found that
Um,
out too. I found that out
yeah.
with you. Yeah. And it's important. It's really important. So do it. Your cleanliness of your home is important. Time with
Yeah.
your family is important. So do it.
Yes. So you've shared the information about services, kind of how to navigate that whole, like, what do we want? What do we need? How often do we do it? How does somebody just get started? So if they're like not, maybe not 100%, yep, we're ready to commit, but they think they do, or they absolutely are ready. How do they get started?
So we try to make it very simple. You can go to our website. There's a little box there that says, I might say book now, get an estimate, something like that. I should have it pulled up, but we try to make it super simple. if they're a computer person, they can go and do it that way. And then I formulate an estimate and I shoot it off into an email. Then we connect in some way. I book so many cleanings with never having spoken to somebody. Either we do it by email or text message. So that's doable. For our recurring customers who want to go with a recurring service, if they want to meet me and have me come out to your home, I am perfectly willing. It's not necessary. A lot of people are like, wait, you don't have to see my house first. We have a very honest discussion about the condition of your home. And if I can trust people to do that, and I've only had one person who I feel like really tried to mislead me on the condition of their home, literally one time only. Most people are very honest. They're calling because they want the help. So we just kind of navigate that discussion. We come up with an estimate. We agree on what we call a range. So I give a low end and a high end. And if they agree to that, we'll set up a date and we'll get out there and start. So we try to make it easy. I have some people call and they want all the details. I have some people that call and say, I love that you got all this information. This was just the other day. He was so funny. He's like, can I just give you money and you come clean? So I'll try to meet you where you are and however you work best with, scheduling things like this.
Okay. For the people that want to get on like one of those recurring schedules, do they end up having to sign a contract and like lock in for a certain amount of time?
Great question. No.
Okay.
That is like the most simple answer I can give you. And I'm actually really proud of the reason behind that. So there is a lot of companies, and that is a great question. They should all be asking when you're reaching out. We don't believe in contracts when it comes to house cleaning service. There's too many variables that will come into play. We don't think it's right to make somebody lock into a service that maybe they end up not needing, don't like. So no, I believe in earning somebody's repeat business with the job that we did today. So no contracts for us. We just ask for at least a 24-hour cancellation, and nope, no contracts.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing all of this information. It's been so much fun to just sit and chat with you about this and learn more about the business.
Absolutely.
And I will share all of your contact information in the caption for the video. And then if
can I say one more thing that's vital to the community and anybody listening to this? We believe in giving back to our community. And if there's nothing that you take away from this little visit that we're having, take this away. We clean for cancer patients completely free of charge. We do it through a nonprofit called Cleaning for a Reason, and we have agreed to offer two-hour cleanings that we call them priority cleanings. Again, going back to what we discussed, letting the cancer patients and their family choose the items that are most helpful to them. But we're not reimbursed in any way. But I feel like cancer patients need a break. If they have time on their hands, it sure shouldn't be spent cleaning. They need to concentrate on their health, their family. So we really want to do that. And it's hard to get the word out that we do that.
Yeah.
So that can be also found on our website. And I encourage everybody to just help me spread the word on that. And it's not a financial thing for folks. People are like, I can afford it. I can afford it. It's not about that. We want an opportunity to give back. And that is one way that we've chosen to do that.
Thank you for sharing that. I'll throw that in the caption of the video too. So we'll make sure we've got a little plug for that. Cool. And then if anybody is looking for cleaning services, whether it's your home, your office, if you're a cancer patient, we'll get some information out there too. But definitely reach out to Amy and reach out to Dazzle Cleaning Service. And then if you're interested in being featured on the Follow Friday series, you can send me an email at Katrina@cornerstonelegalplc.com. Thanks for watching.
Awesome.